Hello, welcome to the fall 2018 semester. My name is Tim Melvin, and I'm going to be your instructor for Math 5, Linear Algebra, one of my particular favorite topics. And I figured since you guys are all experienced college students, you all to pass at least a year of calculus at the JC or somewhere. You've kind of done the syllabus and course introduction stuff. So I figured I'd make a short video going over the basics so we could start off more quickly and do more fun stuff in class this Wednesday. So I'm going to post everything through our course Canvas page. So make sure you have access to the course Canvas page, bookmark it, and I will be sending announcements and messages through this. So make sure you have it set up to go to your email or text or however you want to receive messages forwarded through Canvas. If you do get Canvas messages forwarded to your email, make sure it doesn't go to your junk mailbox. That tends to happen sometimes. So if I have to cancel office hours or hopefully not change class or change a due date or something, I always do it through Canvas, the announcements. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is look at the syllabus. So I got the syllabus tab. I want to go over just some basics for this course. It's going to be fairly standard, not too different, I'm guessing, from what you're used to in a math class. Best way to reach me is through my email. I've got a phone in my office, but I don't know how to get the voicemail and stuff. It's a silly machine. But email is the best way to get a hold of me. My office hours are Monday, Wednesday, 2 to 3, 7 to 7:30, Tuesday, 3:30 to 5:30. You do not need to make an appointment for these office hours. You could just come by anytime. These are set aside for you and all the rest of my students. If you really need to see me about any topic, any question, and you can't make these office hours in a given week, send me an email or talk to me, beginning or end of each class. I'm sure we could find time to meet outside these office hours. I do have extra time available. Or if you're walking by my office and the door is open, that means I'm available. I close the door if I'm busy or doing something. So if the door is open, that means I'm available for questions. Our textbook right here is Linear Algebra and Its Application, 5th edition by Lele McDonald. There are older editions you could get for a lot cheaper. That is perfectly fine. 3rd or 4th edition would be okay. The only issue is the homework assignments. So you need to, take pictures of someone's homework problems or figure out some other way to get the homework problems. The material, the chapters aren't too different, but they always change the homework sections. There's also copies of the textbook at reserve at the library. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. You can't leave them, but use this call number. You could borrow them for a couple hours at a time if you don't have the textbook just yet. Exams, I'm going to try to stick to these dates as much as possible. If I do change an exam date, I'll let you know at least a week in advance. Then that usually means I push the exam forward, not back. But our first exam is Monday, February 12th. So hopefully I'll stick to that. And just as a note, the second exam I have scheduled this is the Wednesday before spring break. So if you want to leave early for spring break, it's not before 7 p.m. on that Wednesday because we will have a test that day. All right, so besides exams, there's going to be reading checks. I'll talk about those. Those are done on Canvas, and homework. I'll talk about that in a second. And lastly, there's going to be 3 computer labs. So we're going to be using Sage or my CoCalc. It's a free compiler, uses Python coding. If you've never coded before, that's perfectly fine. I'm assuming you've never coded, so I'll give you plenty of tutorials. And if you have, it might be a little bit easier to start off, but we're going to do 3 labs spread out throughout the semester using coding techniques to help us with linear algebra applications. Okay, your grading breakdown. Midterms are worth 17% each. Finals are worth 25%. Finals about 1.5 times the length of the midterm. So it's about 1.5 times the weight. And then those 3 computer labs are 12% or 4% each. So those are worth quite a bit. And then all the homeworks, assignments, and these reading checks are the rest, the 12% of your grade. All right, of course, you should look through this. This material we're going to cover. The only one thing I'll mention on the special needs is for note-taking in class, or if you take tests at a different place or got extra time. Make sure to contact Disability Resource Center. They give me the paperwork, and if you take the tests at the testing center or you want a note taker, then we'll go through a disability resource. And just as a reminder, that first test, if that is you, if you take tests in a different facility, Monday, February 12th. That's our first test, so I'll get that done by then. All right, so there's the syllabus in under 3 minutes. Please let me know, email or talk to me in class if you have questions about any of that. All right, so on the home page, we've got the course modules. I just have chapter 1 right now. I haven't designed the entire course just yet. I just have chapter 1 on here. So the first tab is our class and homework schedule. Again, if this changes for whatever reason, we need more or less time on a topic, or hopefully this won't happen. If I have to miss class, I will change this on here. But here's our in-class schedule. I'm probably going to give you a month or so at a time, just in case we need to change the timing of the course. So if you have to miss a day, then you can always go here to see what sections that you missed, what we covered. And then these slides, worksheets, handouts, anything I give in class, I'll do hyperlinks in here. So you can always get anything you missed or reprint something out. And I'll mention this first day of class, but these slides are not the entire notes. These are kind of the skeleton, just the problems, and then we'll go over the solutions in class. And then if we scroll down on this page, the homework schedule. So just have chapter 1 on here for right now. So here's your first section, say. You're only going to turn in 3 problems, and that's due Monday, January 22nd, first Monday. So these 3 problems, I want these written up very nicely, neatly, explain your work. Most of what I'll be grading is how you present your answers. I know there's solutions manuals, there's answers in the back of the book. You could probably Google LACE solutions manual. So I don't particularly care about the right or wrong answer necessarily. Of course, you have to get the right, but I'm grading on your process. This might be the first class where your argument is more important than whether the computation is correct. And we'll kind of talk about that throughout this semester. But notice for each section, I have turn-in problems and practice problems. So I have this 2 set up because I didn't want to do online homework for this class. And these practice problems, I'm going to try to pick mostly odd. See right here, there's a mostly odd problem. So you have at least the answer in the back of the book. Don't take these lightly. These are just problems. I think since you've gone through at least a year of calculus, you know how to check your answers and see if you're right. So I do expect you to go through these practice problems. They are not less important than the turn-in. These just tend to be more the computational problems. Can you compute? Can you do the algorithms, the processes correctly? It's not less important. It's just you could kind of check the answer yourself more, where the turn-in problems, I want to read your process, read your work. So I'd suggest that Monday due date, get in the habit of getting all of these problems done. You just turn in the problems on this first column over here. All right, so the last thing I want to go through on this video are the reading checks. So reading checks are short Canvas quizzes. I wrote these on Canvas, and we'll be writing these for hopefully each section that we cover. So except for the first couple sections, I expect you to have these done before we meet for that class and discuss. So for example, I've got 3 of these due next Monday before class starts. So I'll just click on the first one right here. You do have unlimited attempts, but the quiz closes at 5 p.m. So our class meets at 5:30. So these reading checks are going to be due pretty much every Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. And you could go through and do them as many times as you want to try to get full points. Think of these as low stakes quizzes. I just want to make sure you've seen the definitions, looked at a couple examples. Even if it just confuses you, then we'll come in class and hopefully with lecture discussion, we'll clear up any confusion you have. But I don't want your in-class lecture to be the first time you've seen what linearly independent means or whatever topic might be. I want you to have seen it before we come to class. Even if you're confused by it, then we could explain it in class. So think about this as just motivation for you to actually read the book, go through some examples and definitions before class. I don't expect you to completely understand every section before class. That's what we'll do in class through homework, lecture, group activities, that kind of thing. Okay, I think that's all I had for you guys. I look forward to meeting you all on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your break.